All right, folks, we are back. It's December 8th, 2025. Wrapping up your 2025 calendar year with Jesse and the boys here at Sports Cards Nonsense.
I knew the moment.
Jesse, what do you have to say for yourself over there, you little beach salmon?
I'm never giving you
salmon.
another piece of this gum.
Neuro gum coming to the rescue.
I knew. The
helps Joe Rogan grow his hair. Helps Jesse's shirt turn pink. Helps my mouth speed up.
It's a mistake.
Neuro gum.
Every time.
I'm going to be puking in a minute anyways.
How much food? You've had the toast and egg.
Okay, yes. Let's recap the trip. Took the DC. We'll make this very brief. Took the DC trip. Richmond. Went to Richmond, Virginia to break or to sell singles with DC Sports 87. Crushed it. Set the record on eBay Live Friday night.
Hello.
$257,000. Singles only. The three highest grossing singles of all time started at $1. MJ rookie, a couple of Lucas. Friday night could not have gone better. I had dinner at 6 o'clock on Friday. It was only a 2-hour show, by the way. That's $127,000 an hour GMV. Not a big deal. I got back to my hotel room about 9:30. Immediately made friends with the little porcelain guy in there. It's a toilet. The puking commenced, amongst other things. It was
It was not the food.
Unbelievable. I think it was a little virus. I didn't leave the hotel room, until the next day at 6 p.m. when I went out for 30 minutes to set up the cameras and bail on doing the Saturday night show. I didn't have a bite of food, though, from 6 o'clock Friday until noontime yesterday. So almost 42 hours. I think I said 40 earlier.
And now you're thin.
I've lost a few LBs, which is
officially
nice.
Thin again. Below the 200.
Feeling great. Had a piece of toast with egg today, so feeling good. By the way, I don't hear any crap on me looking at my phone. So that's how you, like a professional, you just you overlook it. You just go right with it.
I wasn't
go right with it.
Telling a story when you weren't looking at the phone.
What do you think I was doing?
You were
telling a story. But I feel great. That's the thing. Feel much better now.
I had to check something for a story. All right.
Sure.
I did not get the update as of yet. I'm glad you are feeling better. That does stink when you're out of town. I'm glad the
flight back was that's when you're terrified. Like, dude, I'm not trying to hawk up. First thing I did when I sat down, made sure there was a barf bag. Good news, there still are. Those are standard in the flights. Back of the seat.
I feel like I haven't seen a barf bag.
I flew first class, so yeah. And the guy came over. Anything you can get? He checked in both times. Anything you need, dude. It was nice.
Sickness didn't affect the humility at all, right? Just still...
No, still arrogant cuss.
Same, yep. Okay, no, that's good.
Arrogant cuss.
It's good to have you back. Well, while you were gone, there was a few things going on over the weekend in the card world.
Okay.
I have some notes to talk about, but the big one, I feel like we have to just start off with because it's the one that multiple people requested.
Which is what I'm reading here, the text.
So
correct?
Oh, I've got it pulled up right here.
Oh, good. Okay.
So PSA has been under fire as of this last few days because there has been a viral post that went out about a gentleman who submitted Pikachu cards.
Preston on X.
Is his name Preston? Oh, yeah,
Just
yeah.
X name, yeah.
So the Pikachu cards he submitted to PSA, he was hoping to get some 10s, came back, looks like most of them were 9s. He got an offer to sell those cards back to PSA. When he got that offer, he got PSA 9 offer prices, right? As so you should. If you're getting a 9, you're going to get an offer for a 9. He submitted or took the request for the 9. He sent the cards. Excuse me. Let me start that over. He took the offer for PSA 9, and that is when they found out that those cards were not actually 9s. They were 10s. And that is why everybody's in an uproar, because they found out later the cert number was the same. They used the same cert number when they changed it from a 9 to a 10. And now the public is seeing, oh, well, that was a 10. PSA must have changed that card so that they could essentially show them it's a 9, take the money, give them the money for a 9, but then repocket or resell the card at a 10 and get 10 prices.
Okay.
That is what the story is. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a little more. So Preston submitted 30 cards. He said, I expected 10 or 12 of them to come back PSA 10s. All 30 came back 8 or 9s. So he put in some complaints about that, reached out to his salesman. Hey, I want these to be reviewed, whatever. In the meantime, though, yeah, he put in he was getting offers through PSA.
Yeah.
Major distinction here, by the way. PSA is not the one making the offers on cards. PSA has buyers that make it through their system. It is not PSA buying back cards. That is the biggest distinction in the whole story. PSA came out right and said, Nat Turner said this, and so did Ryan, confirmed this in a text to us. Yeah, we went back and looked, and we screwed up some of the grades. Some of them should have been 10s, and they were 9s. So number one, that's a major error. Like, there's no getting around that. PSA is the grading sponsor of the show. I love working with them. It's the only company I'm currently grading with, unless it's for my set stuff or SGC. The fact that you have cards that went out a 9 and then upon review were a 10 is a major issue, period. In addition to that, there is also not this unbelievable scandal where PSA is giving you a 9, buying your card back cheap, regrading it, and selling themselves. They reviewed the cards in this instance. They then said, we were wrong, here's the grade, refund the money. But at no point did they buy the card. Sounds like I'm covering, it really does. They're just not the buyers. That's the one detail, everybody says it. And I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty big detail to leave out. So I would like to add that at least.
Here's the bottom line for me is, yes, if this was a, I guess, record of consistent error, like we saw multiple cases, because I was like, oh, I think this is happening to multiple different people. I keep getting like all these videos. It was all the same video from about the same thing.
Well, because
so it made it look like, oh, this is happening like on a regular basis, as if it were planned, purposely happening.
To the hobby credit bill. And by the way, a couple of these guys I saw, the bigger accounts that talked about this were Pokemon accounts. Again, Pokemon guys are just better at stories than we are. No question. Like, they just do it better than the hobby. A lot of guys put out the same thing. Hey, share this video, and if this has happened to you, let us know. That's why it kept circulating like it did, which is great. I think the hobby should do that more. The funny thing is, we're now 3 days removed from the event, and I haven't had another story of it happening. By the way, I'm not naive. I think it's going to happen again by mistake. But but I also am smart enough to think, I think this is a mistake. Because this is one of those, if it wasn't, I think everybody under the sun would crucify PSA right now. No, it happened to me also. By the way, Preston had receipts and records of all this happening, and PSA acknowledged it. I fault PSA 2 areas. Number one, you have to be more consistent, and they know that, but you have to be. You cannot give a 9 if it's a 10 card. Number two, I would have come up with a story earlier if I were them. Those are my 2 critiques for them. I absolutely would have come out first. I'm like, by the way, this is what happened before this whole thing goes viral and you get a bunch of other information. We are not the buyers of the card. We don't facilitate the sales. We're simply processing them. We are not making extra money off of these sales or anything else. So those are my 2 things. Be better at grading in the first place, and I would have been way more upfront with how the whole process works.
Yeah, I do. It does feel like it's sweeping under the rug type of a thing, but I just come down to the fact of it's a one-off, and they acknowledged the issue, and they explained it pretty clearly of what happened and why it happened. Because here's the thing, if they really were trying to hide anything, they wouldn't keep the same exact cert numbers. They wouldn't do they would actually include a picture of the card that says PSA 10 on there.
And they would be the buyer.
9 prices. They would probably know how to hide this pretty well if that were ever the case.
Not to mention,
make sense.
And they would be the one profiting.
Yeah.
I sold my card to you through their vault system. They didn't make the money.
Yep.
I know that sounds like such a cheap cop-out and we're making nothing of something. I talked to you the other day about, we talked a little bit about this. I thought this was going to be a huge deal. Mm-hmm. Like, I really did, because I saw the videos like, this is bad. And as soon as we looked into it, I was like, oh, I think this is one of the best examples of a ton of smoke and almost no fire.
Yeah.
Period. Like, and if you have evidence, by the way, send it in. Just because they're a sponsor, the fact that they are a sponsor means we will try to hold them even more accountable. Like, you're welcome to share your experience if you have receipts of what happened, like Preston did. By the way, I'm glad what he talked about, like, good. But Ryan explained it to us pretty clearly in a text. These cards were under review because a complaint had been submitted, so we reviewed them. There was simply a glitch in the timing. An offer was accepted. While the cards were being reviewed, the grades then changed. If this happens 3 days later, the grades are just upgraded to a 10, the guy sells them for a 10, everybody's happy.
No one would have known.
And again, PSA still would not have bought the cards there because they are not buying cards.
Well, and Nat Turner came out himself on Twitter and responded to a lot of, I guess there was a few different threads going, but responded to at least one of them, indicating essentially exactly what Ryan told to us in text. So,
and then he took heat for that too. Then it was like, well, now they're trying to get in front of the story. It is amazing. If you think somebody's done something wrong, as long as you're loud about it, you win. Because, like, if Nat comes out like he did, well, of course they're trying to sweep it under the rug, like we're doing. If you don't come out, well, yeah, they're just going to be quiet. Because it's like, as long as you just accuse people, you're fine. There's no refuting it. So that's why, honestly, I have no more use for the story. Like, I'll talk about it with you, obviously, but like anybody else, it's been brought up. People sent me messages. Guys, as soon as I looked into it, it was a pretty simple cut and dry answer. And if you don't take that for it, I'm fine with that too.
Sure.
Don't buy PSA cards because you don't trust the company. Don't submit to them anymore. That is your answer. Pretty cut and dry. I still have confidence in the company. This changed nothing for me. I'm going to send out my order next week. Period. Yeah, I don't have any other.
I don't feel like this is a story after this topic. Like, I don't feel like we have to bring it back up. And the only reason that it would need to be brought back up is if everybody came out of the woodworks and has evidence.
100%.
Like, oh, yeah, this is an ongoing thing.
Sure. If it comes out
But
that it's
that's not
ongoing,
happening.
or if it comes out that, you know what, somehow PSA was actually buying these cards,
Yeah.
not individual buyers, share it. Like, happy to report that as well. I think this is, and we're going to see content about it for the next week, which is that's why I'm back to my little bubble of no content. I've been so disgusted with it lately. This is another one. Like, I saw this and immediately my eyes lit up. We got topics for the next week or two. And then we talked to Ryan for about 30 seconds. I was like, oh, seems like it was answered. So
Yeah. No,
that's it.
Nothing else to add on it.
Yeah, but if you have the evidence, like if it's happened, share it with us. Happy to, and if you're a halfway reasonable person, you want to share what happened, please do so. But other than that,
there's a note that Nat Turner put on Twitter yesterday, I guess as a follow-up to what we just explained. He said, I should mention, we'll be making updates to our system so that any cards that have had offers accepted on them, but then something changes before the order ships, either a grade changes up or down, a cert is deactivated, etc., the relevant offers will be automatically reversed. So they are, now that they've found the glitch, they're going to fix it.
I'll tell you the other problem here, by the way. There was one of the...
Well, I was going to say, too, this is like when SGC would make an error and then we would, like, they were a sponsor of the show, we would talk about it. But every time we always, and I think the audience appreciated, that it was acknowledged and they're fixing it. That's essentially what we
you just go to the source, though. I know the clickbait crap is awesome. Just go to the freaking source. My other thing, though, the other problem I have with PSA here is, why are you showing me grades that aren't final? If my grades are under review, I don't want to see it as a 9 in the first place. I will say that. That's another part of their process that has to change. The guy shouldn't have been able to reveal his grades and do anything with the card if it wasn't a final grade. If you're reviewing them, just pull them.
Yeah.
But that has to be instantaneous. Nat in the text before that, or the tweet before that, said something like, there are two different systems right now, the marketplace and the grading.
Yeah.
That's not my problem. Like, you figure out a way to merge those two then.
Yeah,
because
like
there can be no time lapse there. If you're going to change a grade, by the way, I don't want to see the grade until it's final. Otherwise, it's just like, why would you show me a 9 when I think it could be a 10? Just give me the final grade. So I think there's tweaks to be made. There's some critiques I have for PSA. But in general, I think this is one of the most nothing stories out there unless I see more evidence.
Here's the story that came out to me at the end of all this was, I do wonder if we ever see a day where they get rid of the human element. We've talked about it before. It just seems like the more and more I spent a lot of Saturday and then a good part of Sunday working on this like whole Star Wars Galaxy post that I ended up putting out this morning, and I used AI for the majority of it. And I realized, man, without AI, this would have taken me so much longer to do. And I realized after using so many different prompts and tools that just basic AI systems have, I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't we be incorporating this into things like this specific instance of trying to get an unbiased opinion of what this card should be?
Yeah.
It does make me wonder if we ever see that day. I wouldn't hate it, but I don't know. I don't know if they're looking to make any changes since things are good. Why change it?
Sure. No, I agree. That would also be a huge thing to take out of it. There's your consistency factor.
Ohtani's setting new records. Did you see this?
The gold logo man?
So I believe it was the gold logo man. Hang on, I have it pulled up
It's the
here.
MVP logo man, I think, if this is the one you're talking about, what I'm thinking about at least.
Yeah, so this is the 2025.
Hey, that's you.
Get out of here, bro. Mike just realized their screen is
Jesse,
on the TV.
That's you.
2025 Topps Chrome MVP Award Gold MLB Logo Man. Patch Auto 1 of 1. It made, not only did it set a record, but it did it in less than 24 hours of being up at auction. It's still at auction, so it will be going higher.
Where's it at?
It is on Fanatics Collect.
Okay.
Apparently the previous had done, actually, where is my note? I had it right here. There was another logo man. It was the black logo man Ohtani that did, I believe it was like a little over $1 million. But now that this one with buyer's premium is well above that, because it's at 1,050,000 at this moment before the 20% buyer's premium.
So 1.2.
So you still have 10 days left on it. Someone put this in the mailbag today, which we'll get to, but I figure since it kind of correlates, they said, like, is there the market for Ohtani basically untouched by offseason? And I'm just wondering, like, are we seeing a point where Ohtani's pricing just continues to go up until something major, something negative happens? Or
it's the first one I can remember. Because any other event, like you look after a postseason, major drop-off, after a Super Bowl win, even for major stars, by the way, Brady in the offseason would always drop. Mahomes would always drop.
Yeah.
Because, like, the one-offs are like the Freddie Freemans, who's a great player, Hall of Famer. Like, he would have an unbelievable playoff run, and inevitably, as soon as the World Series is done, he wins MVP and they win the World Series, there's a drop. But even with established guys, the Bradys, the Mahomes, the guys like that, we've never seen this. It is weird. I think it just speaks to the fact that Ohtani's market is that much bigger than everybody else's. That's the international appeal right there.
Yeah, for sure.
I really feel like that. Like, I don't know.
It does. The only time where...
Dude, every Ohtani we sold went over comps, by the way. Every single one was, the other night. People were like going nuts about Ohtani.
Remember how, whenever there's a new hot product out, there's always like a peak in price and then it comes down. I feel like it's going to happen with Ohtani. Despite the demand, I think there has to be a point where we are going to be like, oh, that may have been a touch too much. Let's see it come down some. But I feel like it won't happen until we see a huge spike. So the fact that
a spike from where we are now?
Well, yeah, exactly. I don't think we will see his pricing just have a fall off, at least, somewhat of a correction, until we see a huge spike. And
God, how does it spike from where?
Well, because I could see it happening with this exact card, because if the previous card I did pull it up, it did 1.1 million. It was the Topps Dynasty Black 1/1 Logoman.
Okay.
So that doing 1.1, this one is already at close to 1.3. You have 10 days left. If this thing that did something close to 2 million or more, I could see that being the point, that tipping point of, maybe we went a little overboard. Let's pull back a little bit.
With all of his stuff, though, you think because that card sells for a ton of money, his Topps Chrome rookie goes from 2,000 to think that drops for some reason?
I don't think it drops. I don't think any of his stuff drops substantially, but I do think we would see maybe a little bit of a correction.
I think his stuff will come down at some point. I don't think this sale this could sell for $100 million. I don't think it does anything.
The only other thing that I think that is going to affect his pricing is underperforming in some way.
Correct. Performance, sure. The other thing is if we get a couple guys next year that come out of nowhere and perform crazy well and people start chasing out elsewhere. Like you've seen that with 2025 football. The class stinks this year, so 2024, and some of them have played well, but guys, okay, let's go back to 24 rookies. Let's go back to 23 rookies.
Yeah.
Do people lose interest and chase something else, or does it become another hot demand? But in general, I think at this point it's performance. Does he get injured? Does something happen? Is there an off-the-field thing? Like, does one of these gambling charges or real estate charges stick?
Yes.
That's another major thing. But
all of those things, but at the end of the day, if none of that happens, I still don't think we just see it consistently go up forever. I mean, right? It could never do that. So obviously there has to be a tipping point in my mind, unless you just see pricing leveling off to the point where it's like no one's buying or selling outside maybe, some kind of small percentage gap.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. This is where this is a huge disconnect with the card you're talking about in the Ohtani market. Look at his rookie market the last 30 days. It's down quite a bit.
Oh, is he already down?
Oh, everything is down. Yeah, so that's what I mean. He's come down some as well.
Well, you just said that everything was selling over comps the other night.
Sure. 4 cards in our live sold over comps. That's also a matter of us being live and promoting, having a huge show. And having rare pieces. That doesn't mean like a one-of-one's not going to set a record.
What Ohtanis do you think have dropped? I just want to
pull look at his 2018 update PSA 10. His 2018 Topps Chrome PSA 10.
The pitching?
Either one. He's got a pitching, he's got a hitting, either one. Yeah, look at those over 30 days.
Last month, you're looking at, let's see here. Last 30 days, let's go to 2 months or 3 months. Because the last 30 days, he's up 5% on that card. I don't think so, man. I mean, the last month is showing up for that card. Let's pull another one. I'll do a Bowman. There's another Topps update. Okay, Topps update. So I had the batting one first. This is the pitching in the red jersey. PSA 10 over the last month. It's also up. I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't think we've seen a drop off yet.
Okay, so like his 2018 just Topps update Chrome, it's leveled off. It's settling in the 330, 340 range, which is what it was at the World Series. But there's been no more rise in that is my point. Like his stuff is not just continuing to rise like this card has. And that same card I'm talking about was 350 back in November 13th, November 10th.
Yeah,
that is the same
leveling off, but not a drop. And that's where I think, like, if you want to see, if people are waiting for a drop, like a lot of people expect in an offseason, I don't think we see that until we see something that makes people think, oh, maybe he's a little high for his caliber, or there's another piece of news that comes out.
Yeah, I mean, like his heritage is down from the high about $40 for a $300 card. A little over 10%. His Topps Chrome update, the batting one on those sales, that topped off at $425. The last few have been in the $370 range. That's down. The 2018 Topps pitching, just a paper, which has 1 million of those. Again, that thing topped out end of November, which it should, World Series time, $390. The last few, $340, $345. Everything has leveled off or come down. I know the numbers say it's up, but if you look at the last couple actual sales, even his prospect, his 2018 Bowman prospect card.
Well, I'm not saying he's at every card is at the absolute peak, but I think on the average, the fact that we are still averaging out to a positive amount indicates that you're still seeing there has not been a correction in his market. And I'm not saying there should be necessarily
I just mean
at this point, but
every card I just named, though, the last few sales have been cheaper than it was a month ago.
Okay. A little bit
not
cheaper
huge,
than it was.
but you're talking 4 to 9% across the board.
Sure.
And we're only a few weeks removed from a World Series. So the difference is, in years past, that would have been 20% down.
Oh, for sure.
Because he won a World Series, won MVP, crazy. Okay, let's relax. And he's even negated some of that. But that card you're talking about is going to be 30% higher than the one before. Nothing else in the market for him is 30% higher than it was a month ago. Not even close.
I wonder what Freddie Freeman pricing is doing.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman had, again, unbelievable run. Another World Series, probably inked himself as a first ballot Hall of Famer now. I'm going to guess his market probably dropped. He's a weird one because maybe this did totally ink him as a first ballot guy.
Yeah, well, because that's the thing. If you look back again on a month or a 3-month basis, he's still up quite a bit. In fact, over the last month, he's up 24%. But if you do consider the highest sales, so October 28th, he had some for a PSA 10 of his 2011 Topps rookie, you're looking at 180, 179, something like that. And it is now selling currently about 145.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the ones before that,
down from those top sales.
125, 130, 140. So the last 4 have all been below that number. Again, stuff moves down in the offseason like it should. Ohtani just moves down less. It's just weird. It's not weird. He's the best player in the world. And has the biggest market in the world.
Have you been watching any football?
A lot of football. Me and your wife watch a lot of football.
I know. God. It is weird, listening to Sam talk about some of these people. It's disturbing just how much he knows.
It's tough talking to your wife and then talking to you. It's such a letdown.
You haven't talked about football in forever.
There's nothing to talk to you about.
You don't know. How do you know? You don't know.
You say a guy, you're like, oh, he's a good quarterback. I'm like, it's a head coach. It's just tough.
I've never confused a head coach.
It's just tough.
Probably.
You thought Bill Belichick was a running back. Your words. Bill Belichick is an African-American running back. That's what you said to me. He's an old white head coach.
That was a private text, and you said you were never going to repeat it?
I told you that in confidence.
Everyone knows the Lorax speaks for the trees.
What's the rest of that sentence, though?
Dak Prescott
Casey Rocket
is still number 1 in QBR. Jordan Love, surprisingly number 2 at this point.
hang on. Even that statement.
Do you care about these things?
Does anybody? Do you know if you didn't look at that stat, what would you think of Dak Prescott this year?
The Cowboys have a positive record at this point.
The Cowboys have no shot at making the playoffs right now. They're totally useless this season now. Well, that's
Do you care about the performance leading card market value though?
The performance,
the fact that he is performing well overall, even though the team is not going to make the playoffs or whatever.
Yeah, they're 6-6. They're done. They're toast.
But individual performance versus team performance,
I'd be shocked
that we would see some kind of bump in pricing?
For him, I'd be surprised. I could be wrong. His Prism PSA 10 silver. Yeah, there's been a couple high sales.
So he has gone up. Okay.
Yeah, I guess he's gone up $25 over the course of the year. And he's playing at an MVP level. So no.
Well, to be fair, $25 when his card is selling for, what is it at?
$175.
$175.
And actually, he's cheaper than he was. No, never mind. I take it down. From the beginning of the season, he's down. So never mind. I was wrong. Yeah, he's down. He's played great. September sales, 176, 185.
The past 6 months, that card is up 42%.
Again, that's when right, but the first 2 months of that were totally off season. Look at when the season started, his numbers, early September.
Mm-hmm.
He's selling for the same price he's selling for now. That just shows you we don't care about performance. He's played great individually, but we know that it's coming to an end and his team stinks. He's not going to the playoffs. You could have bought that card in August for the same price.
I mean, they're at high points, yes, but you're just pointing. You're picking the ones to suit the narrative.
Put the chart up then. Let's go through every one of the sales then.
I don't want to go through everyone, but you can just easily look at the chart here. If you look,
I think I'm looking at the same thing. I have it at 6 months.
So I put it at a year, and I was at 6 months. I put it to a year though. At a year, he's actually up 133%. If you want to change over to 6 months,
yeah, those are the sales. I don't.
We go up to 42%.
Yeah, $50.
What do you? What is it that's underwhelming to you about the fact that he's up 42%?
Well, because I look on September 28th, the card sold for $90, and I look at again the high there, 195 October 14th. I know what it says. I don't. That chart, like you look at that chart, who's buying?
But again, it's like an average. You look across that. Yeah, you pick the lowest and the highest sales on there, but on an average, he has been consistently moving up over the last 6 months, the last year.
He's had some spikes, sure. But yeah, like but his performance is not matching this. He's been a top 3 quarterback in the league. And his card sells for under $200.
With the fanaticism of Cowboy fans, I think that Dak Prescott, and I'm just saying Dak Prescott because he was the number 1 in QBR.
Sure.
We can pull up.
Over 2 years, though. Over 2 years, he's down 25%. Why? He's playing better now than he's ever played in his life. 21%, excuse me. Why? He's down. And 2 years ago, the market stunk compared to where it's at now, and he was playing worse. Worse card market, playing worse. Better card market, playing better. He's down 20%. I don't know if I would agree with everything that you're saying right now, but at the same point... What do you disagree with?
Because I'm not saying I do disagree. I'm saying I would like to actually look it up because you're saying that the market wasn't as good in December of 2023. I would say that we were seeing there had been a drop-off, but I don't know if that particular market was bad. But again, maybe it wasn't as good. Obviously, if he is down over 2 years, that's fine. Or if he's down over 2 years, that's fine. But we don't care as much if you bought him last year or you bought him in the last 6 months. This is just more of a point of like, hey, there's a lot of people who have dips. They have swings, performance changes. Yes, it's different if he's performing at some of the best he's ever done and he is still down from 2 years ago. But I would argue the point that he's doing exactly what you would want. He's on an upward trajectory right now. So by maybe into the next few months into the season, maybe he's up, maybe he's about the same, but he hasn't announced retirement yet. Maybe he's a good investment.
I just don't know. I guess my argument is if he's a good the guy is playing the best he's ever played and his market's barely moved.
That's not true, though. His market has moved.
Over the last couple months, which is really all that matters, when he has played the best, his last 2 months of the season, there are sales 2 months ago that were the same as today. Okay. I'm going to throw out the bottom and throw out the top. There are sales that are almost exactly the same. I just don't, like, what is that? I know that the chart tells you there's 42% growth. Where are the sales the back? Like, I just don't.
They're all right there, Mike. It doesn't matter because I don't think I'm going to get you to change your mind, and that's okay. But I don't think that we can just negate the facts for an opinion.
I'm literally showing you.
I was literally showing you. You were saying.
There's 95 sales on here, and you can pick out 30 or 40 of these over the past 2 months when he's been playing well that are almost identical. Maybe they're $15 cheaper because there's some 160s and 150s. I don't know. And why would his card go up in the next month or two? We're going to miss the playoffs, and he's going to go into the offseason. If you're going to invest, at least wait till the offseason. I don't know why you'd invest in Dak anyways, but if you were going to, don't buy him now. They're going to miss the playoffs. He's going to be out, and his price is going to drop.
Okay. I still maintain the fact that performance has helped to lead his pricing higher.
I agree with that. I just mean it's been so marginal. For a guy to play at an MVP level and to move up like the last 20 sales very little is weird to me.
Okay.
I just think it shows you most of the hobby doesn't care about Dak. We're short-sighted, dude. We want the next best thing. Nobody thinks Dak is going to do anything big.
I don't know if he's going to do anything big, but at the same time, I don't think that should leave him out of the conversation of, is he somebody that people should consider looking for buying? And not for like a quick flip or anything like that, because he will be, like you just said, if he's playing at MVP level caliber, maybe all-time great. I mean, not an all-time great. Let's be a little bit more conservative.
He's not even a Hall of Famer.
But I mean, like, you don't think he'll be a Hall of Famer?
No.
You don't think so at all?
No.
I mean,
look at the quarterbacks that are not in the Hall of Fame. No.
Okay.
And that's the other thing. Look at the quarterbacks that are in the Hall of Fame that the hobby doesn't care about. When's the last time Terry Bradshaw had... Like, there are great quarterbacks that have no market still, or relatively none. Dak is probably at his all-time high right now. Like, from now to the end of time, I would think now is higher than he's ever going to sell again. Unless something crazy happens, and he's given no evidence that's going to happen. Like, he's playing great, and they're 500 team. They're 6-6.
So the fact that he is at this high point, you think that this is the highest, no need to buy
highest
him at
from
all.
now till going forward. He's had higher points, like I said, a couple years ago. I mean. But what's he going to do to impact that? He can't play any better than he's played.
Okay,
and it's
that's
made
a decent argument.
And it's made very little difference. And then he's going to go into an off season now. And do I think he's going to play better or worse next year? Statistically speaking, most guys his age decline in play. He's played unbelievable this year. I don't think he's going to repeat that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
It's tough. I mean, and he's not an all-time great or even a Hall of Famer. No.
I guess like I'm ignorant to what would be an all-time great, or I should say a Hall of Famer specifically. Like, what do you think someone needs to do to get to a Hall of Fame? Like, what quarterbacks right now are Hall of Fame besides
in
Mahomes?
the league?
Yeah.
Mahomes and Rodgers are absolute locks.
Yep.
Stafford is probably a lock by the time it's said and done right now.
Because of the fact that he's got a Super Bowl win.
Also, he's top 10 in stats all time. He's got yardage already, completions. He has unbelievable all-time stats.
Okay.
Ooh. Rebecca, you may have to chime in on this. Outside of those three, I don't think there's any other locks unless I'm just missing somebody. Like if Josh Allen retired today, he's not in the Hall of Fame. He's great. He's not going to the Hall of Fame. Lamar Jackson is not a Hall of Fame if he retired today. Mm-hmm. I think those are the only three I would say guaranteed in right now.
Okay. All right. I guess in the grand scheme of things, I just view Dak Prescott as being, because I think it was last year we had almost a very similar argument that he was playing pretty well. Maybe I don't remember actually. Honestly, we've been doing the pod so long. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but there was a big argument of whether or not he was a good buy at, I think it was maybe in the 80s or something like that for his card, for that specific silver prism.
Okay.
And you
Must have
maintained
been like
it was
3 years
terrible.
ago.
But I had said it was good, and he ended up going up. I think he almost doubled in price, honestly. But at the end of the day, my viewpoint is whether or not the Cowboys are going to continue to win, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't have a conversation as to whether or not they would be a good, or an individual player would be a good buy. So let's move on from Dak. What about any other players? I mean,
any other players,
like any other QBs or any other players you like? Any football that since you've been watching a lot of it, that you would be high on?
Who I would buy right now to flip this year, or you're talking long?
Say sell? I don't know. Either one.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now, Rebecca hates this take. I actually think C.J. Stroud's a guy I would buy right now. He's won a playoff game each of his 2 years. He's down overall. That team's in the playoffs if it ends now, and I think they're going to stay that way. And they've beaten good teams. And they have the number one defense in football. Like, I look at that guy, I don't think he has to do a ton, and I think the AFC is wide open. I think he's a good buy. Drake Maye, I've been selling. I sold my 2 big Drake Mays this weekend, or 1 big. I don't trust them in the playoffs yet, and even if they win a game or 2, I think it's tough. So I would sell Drake Maye right now. Trevor Lawrence, I think you can buy because I think he has a crazy low floor at this point. His pricing has crashed. Right now they're the 3rd seed. If by some chance they won a playoff game, people would freak out. And they could. They very easily could win 1 playoff game. Mm-hmm. His market would go crazy. I'm not touching Rodgers. I'm not touching Josh Allen or Herbert because I think they have to do more than 1 win, and I don't trust them to do that. NFC, I think Jordan Love's a guy. The Packers, I mean, even this weekend, they've beaten every good team they've played this year, I feel like. They beat the, I mean, Bears came back at the end, but the Bears were the number 1 seed in the NFC, and they beat them this weekend. And Jordan Love played excellent. Yep. 3 great. Like, Jordan Love's pricing has not gone crazy. I think, and Jordan Love is a star QB, as opposed to someone like a Hurts who is on a team that's great. I don't think anybody considers Hurts the best player on the team. Jordan Love, that's how the Packers live and die. Like, that kid could very easily be a great quarterback at some time.
Here's the thing. Jordan Love he had dropped a bit. He had a few sales. Speaking of his 2020
so I mean, he's cheap.
Prism.
It's like $60 right now, isn't it? A PSA 10 Prism?
So he's up to 70, but he had dropped down to like $30.
That's nothing. That's what I mean. And even now at 60, it's like, how many cards sell for $60 now? Yeah, and that's a guy, if he wins a playoff game, there's some buzz around it. He doesn't have to do a Josh Allen thing where he has to get to a Super Bowl. I like him. Sam Darnold's another weirdo. Like, his stuff is... The only problem I have is I don't trust Darnold, but there's potential there. That's kind of where I'm at, because at this point, I don't know who else is making the playoffs and winning. So there's a handful of guys I would buy. Puka's the only other non-receiver or non-quarterback guy I would look at because he's having such a crazy year. That dude's just great, and I think the Rams are the best team in football.
Now, have you been watching any of the Bengals?
Dude, Burrow's market's been crazy. I sold my Burrow NTRPA Saturday night, sold for $14,500. Started at $1. That card wouldn't go for $12,000 2 weeks ago. His market's been climbing ever since he's been back, and they're playing good. Yeah. They don't win games. That's the problem. But he's at least back.
It was a close game, at least.
Yeah. And again, at this point, the season's moot. The fact that his market is moving up and his team stinks, I think people are finally buying back into Burrow.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I don't trust him to stay healthy. That's why I sold it. I was looking for any out to move that card.
At this point, I don't think they make it to the playoffs. So
they have no chance. They're 4-9.
At this point, why would anybody really be? I guess why would you buy him until he makes some kind of drop? Because looking at his pricing, at least for, again, apples to apples comparison, the Prism PSA 10, it is still selling at $91, which is essentially where it's been selling for the last 3 months. Like, I mean, there's been highs and lows from there, but on average, somewhere around that.
So that's interesting because his high-end stuff is up like 20. That's the only reason I sold the card this weekend.
Oh,
I started looking. His high-end stuff is up quite a bit.
I wonder, I mean...
But that's a guy, though, as opposed to Dak, I know where his career ends. Burrow, it's like, I don't know, there's a bit of a dip. Maybe I get in on him now and keep it. I would like to think that's what the buyer of the NT card does. He's holding that card because he's not going to flip it this year.
Did you know that Adam's been here?
I figured for 10 minutes.
Why haven't we brought him in?
We're having a good discussion. We're not going to interrupt good content.
We're having a terrible conversation. We were having a terrible conversation.
I think it was good. We were both passionate and disagreed. It was nice.
Well, and let's bring Adam in then.
Yeah.
Adam Palmer has officially joined the show. I don't know. Did we ever mention this at the beginning that Adam was joining us?
No, I talked about my food poisoning.
Surprise visit.
Also big news.
From basically Daily Nonsense is run currently by Adam Palmer. He is the man who gives us all the updates. Adam, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Massachusetts guy, by the way.
Are you from Mass?
That's correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, Massachusetts. That's right.
Wow, what part?
Cape Cod.
Richie Rich.
Really?
Him and Hannah's in-laws.
I don't even hear the accent at all.
That's because it's not really Massachusetts.
It's
okay. It's all right.
Well, it is. I like to say I'm on island time. It technically is a man-made island, but whenever I get back over to the Cape, I just say I'm on island time.
Adam, you gave Rebecca a few topics that we could talk about today.
Soccer. We got a soccer guy.
Soccer. This is something that you were actually familiar with. You saw like World Cup news and things like that this weekend.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, well, for soccer stuff, like going back to like the 2019 National, I was buying like Mbappe 2018 Prism cards. And I mean, the 2018 and Prism Mbappe is like my claim to fame when it comes to the best flips I've ever made. Like, I think I was buying the base for $20 a piece, base PSA 10s for Mbappe. And then I bought 2 silvers, I remember, for 2 silver PSA 10 Prism cards from 2018 Prism for like $100 a piece. And I think I flipped the 2 silvers for $2,500 a piece. So that was, that was pretty nice.
What are they at now?
Price wise, I know they've dropped a little bit, but like I know the base went up to like around $1,200, but now I think it's probably sitting at around like $250 if I had to guess.
Sheesh. That's not bad. All right. So I mean, Jesse kind of alluded to it. Obviously we have the World Cup coming up so I know it's in New York. That's like the final. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, when does it actually start, the whole World Cup? When do people start kicking stuff?
Yeah, so that's going to be next summer. I know the final is actually at MetLife Stadium, which I just think is so funny that like Ronaldo or Messi might be playing in New Jersey for the World Cup. I don't know. Something about that is funny to me. But the group stage, I think, starts like a month before that. It's a tournament that essentially runs a little bit longer than a month. This year they switched the format actually from it used to be 8 groups of 4, and then the top 2 teams from each group made it, and now it's 12 groups of 4. The top 2 teams make it, and then the top 8 that are third place. So they kind of mess with the format this year, which if you look anywhere online, no one's very happy with. And to be honest, I'm not very happy with the format either. But yeah, like they're going to be in New York during actually Fanatics Fest weekend is the World Cup final too. So that's another interesting fact there.
So break it down for me, Adam. Why do I care about soccer right now? Is it just because World Cup is happening in the U.S.? And do you think that is going to be the case with every soccer fan in the U.S.? Like, we start seeing more and more fanaticism over the sport and cards go up, or what are your takes?
Yeah, I mean, this is the U.S. team specifically is like, this is like the golden generation, honestly. Like, it's one of the best, like, all of the players, it's probably, I don't think they're going to win it, unfortunately. If they do, that would be nice. But I think if they make it to, like, the semifinals or the quarterfinals, that would be really good. Obviously, winning would be better, but they're all going to be, like, all the best players on the U.S. team are going to be in their prime essentially for the World Cup. And this is something that, they've had a similar team probably since 2018, they didn't make it to the World Cup. They got eliminated. And then 2022, they made it to the group, or they made it out of the group stage, which was nice. We played with England in that year, but then we lost to the Netherlands, I believe. But yeah, this is like the golden generation essentially of U.S. men's soccer, which, the league is very similar to and I'm not, they're two different sports, obviously, but like the WNBA with the length of the MLS and the WNBA are very similar in terms of how long they've been around. So like now we're seeing actually players have an opportunity to go to the MLS and make like a living. Like, the best player or the captain of the U.S. team is Christian Pulisic, and he, at 14 years old, this would have been 10 years ago, didn't really have an opportunity to play here in the United States. So he had to go actually to Germany and play for Dortmund, and he became the youngest U.S. men's player to play in one of the top 5 leagues. So luckily, I think in the next few years, it will be better. Like the MLS will hopefully be better, just because there's actually an opportunity for players to play here versus where before they had to go overseas. But essentially with this U.S. team that's playing in this year's World Cup, or next year, I suppose, they're basically all going to be in their prime. And then by the next World Cup, they might be, they're all going to be older. They're all going to be between, the best players are all going to be between 22 and 25 essentially next year.
Let's talk about the World Cup draw that happened this weekend. Did you watch any of that?
Yeah, I was watching, I think it was the Men in Blazers. They're like one of the big soccer podcasts, and I was watching them react to the draw.
Oh, okay. I saw that Tom Brady was involved, Wayne Gretzky, Aaron Judge, Shaq. What do you think this is actually drawing more attention than it would have any other time in the past for the U.S.?
Well, I think whenever you have a national tournament, I think it's a big deal. I mean, even just look back at the NHL, what they did last year, that Four Nations League, kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, it was exciting, and people didn't really know what to expect, and that leading up to, because another thing that we have coming up too is the Olympics, and they're letting the NHL players play in the Olympics again, so that's going to be another big deal. So whenever you have these national tournaments, I just think that there's a lot of excitement that goes around those teams, and with the expansion of the World Cup, you're getting extra 12 teams in the tournament that otherwise wouldn't have made it. So a lot of smaller countries are making it. So I think whenever there's a national tournament, people do get pretty excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know if Mike's getting this too. I've been getting a few messages of guys hey, what do you think I should do with this? Whether it's Ronaldo or Messi or some other soccer star that at least is big enough to where I've heard the name. They're asking, well, should I hold it till end of World Cup, till we get closer to the event? And my take is well, if we don't have as many soccer card fans this moment, I can't imagine that going down in the next 6 months. I would only imagine
growth.
There being a bigger market in the next, I don't know, before the end of the World Cup at least.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's going to be very similar to what we see in the football market, not because it's football and footballer, but the preseason is really when you should be selling a lot of the football cards that you have that have kind of gone up over the offseason. So I think the lead up to the World Cup is going to be a good opportunity to sell anything that you have. And I think with a lot of, especially because the tournament, like I said, it's only a month. It's not like going into a football season where they're playing, 17 or 18 games. They're only, each team is going to play the 3 group stage matches, and then I think that they add an extra one, so I think there's 5 rounds if you win. So I think leading up to the World Cup is going to be interesting. I think that's where we're going to see a lot of the pricing kind of increase, and then once the World Cup actually happens and the games start going, I think that's I don't know. I think that's where we're going to see a little bit of a downtick just because people get really excited. I mean, it's like, it's the same thing for me. It's like sports gambling. It's like I get really excited when I am picking games, but then once the game happens, it's kind of like I lose interest in it almost. And that's maybe because I'm bad at gambling, but it is neither here nor there, I suppose.
Well, do you know anything else that's going on in the soccer world as far as the card market goes? Because there was a release soccer dynasty in the UK over, I guess it was maybe Friday or sometime last week. Did you hear anything about this?
Topps Dynasty?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, the biggest soccer product there is like the World Cup Prism product. Like Panini has been making World Cup cards, I think, since like 2002. Like each 4 years there was a Panini World Cup product that they put out, and then in 2014 they came out with their first Prism product. So I think that's a really good one. So I mean, the thing that I'm really excited for is going to be whatever the 2026 Prism World Cup ends up being, which in some circumstances they don't include everybody that's on every single team. So I'm going to be interested to see how they, what they decide to do with 48 teams and how many players end up making it onto the checklist. Because, I mean, obviously you're going to have the big names like Messi and Ronaldo and, Mbappe and Haaland and Neymar. But, like, I'm wondering what they're going to do, if they're going to add more of the U.S. players or if they're going to kind of pick and choose the same way they do with every single team, essentially.
Hey, does Panini still have, do they have licensing for World Cup still? In 26?
Yeah, I think they re-upped the licensing either a year ago or 2 years ago, I think until the 2030 World Cup, I'm pretty sure, or 2031, or whatever the one after this is. Because I know that the Women's World Cup, I think, is either next year or the year after that. But yeah, so Panini has the Women's World Cup license, and then the Men's World Cup license, I think, until 2031 is what I remember seeing a little bit like a year ago, probably.
I take it, if you did not mention anything, you did not hear about the drama that was going on with the Dynasty product?
Oh.
No, I did not. I didn't see that, actually.
Well, I'll mention it real quick because
I didn't either.
Well, if you're not like from the UK or in the UK, I don't think it made as much attention, but I think Boston Card Hunter even made like a video that was very truly hated by a number of Brits from what I've seen.
What a shock.
Just
people. Just very hated
in general. So I am actually curious, as two of you who have not heard anything about this, I'd love to get an unbiased opinion. So what happened, from my understanding, is that Topps had an EQL release for Topps Dynasty. The specific name of this product is, it's not just soccer, but it's Topps UEFA Champions League Dynasty.
Okay.
So it's 2024-25.
The one box auto dynasty.
Yes.
Regular patch auto.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So releases on an EQL last week. That EQL, for those who won, because you'll win typically, you'll get charged, and then they'll send you the box. That's how it happens in the U.S.
Okay.
Apparently, it sounds like it happened a little differently over there, where because England it's not as big of a country as the U.S., you had to go to the shop, is my understanding. You actually had to go to the London Fanatics shop to pick up your box, and if you didn't pick it up within the next day, then you did not get that box. And what happened was those EQLs went from $1,300. The next day they were in the shop for $2,800.
Dang.
And the problem
Pick
is
it up
like
that day, baby.
There's a lot of the big hits that have already been hit. And there's a number of like just breakers and other people just very upset about this happening. To me, I'm like, yeah, that stinks. I don't know. Like, it seems like something that we've just kind of gotten used to here in the States, where soccer product or any product goes up in value if it's very popular. And that's just kind of an expectation. Prices are going to get jacked up.
Are people outraged about the price, or they're outraged they couldn't get the box if it didn't show up? Or both?
Well, a little bit of both. For sure, both. But it is actually, I think, more the fact that Topps was increasing the price so substantially in their own shop.
Oh, because they own the shop.
Exactly.
Yeah, that stinks.
Okay,
I mean, keep the price. Like, I don't know. Can you not just keep the pricing the same?
Yeah.
But if the market's going to buy, I'm also free market. So if the market wants to pay $3,000, I get that too. Don't buy soccer cards. Boom, problem solved.
There's your first problem.
Use your freaking hands, people. Good God.
I don't know. It's interesting because there's a number of breakers and just sellers in general over there that have put out a lot of content over the last few days. I don't know at this point if they're still upset about it, but That's all they were talking about last week. So,
Dang.
yeah, I had made a couple notes. I wasn't sure if you were going to be familiar with the story or not, but at this point in time,
you know what's funny too? We didn't get solicited for any of that stuff. I haven't seen any American sellers with
that's
that
the thing.
yet, right?
I don't know if there is any in America. I went to Blowout. They don't have any on their site or anything. I don't know if this is like one of those where and one of the bigger issues was as well that when they increased that price to like $2,800 or something, they said a case was going for them, like in the UK, a case was going for maybe like $10,000 or something.
Yeah, $5
like
is okay.
They said in the US they saw a break that was as high as $20,000, and so they're saying, oh well, Topps is charging prices based on American pricing, not the UK pricing.
Oh,
And so they're upset because they can't get that same return over there, which it is like to some degree, if that's where you're selling it in the UK to the guys who are actually breaking and selling it in their shops. Yeah, that stinks. Yeah. So at the same time, it's like, I don't know, like it's still a company that's trying to make money. So to make an argument of like, oh, you're not allowed to do that. No, obviously they're allowed to do whatever they want.
I guess.
Would it be nicer if that was not the case?
Yeah, I guess
Yes.
my pushback too would be like you're trying to make this big footprint in Europe. Like we've seen the push in the UK.
That's kind of my thinking
I don't
too.
know. Why wouldn't you be like, hey, you know what, guys? Exclusive European drop only at the UK store. You got to come in, $9.99
From
for
what
the whole weekend. Like I don't know.
It really feels separate to me. It feels like Topps UK and Topps do not really have all that much work to, I guess,
that's
working
possible,
together
too. Yeah.
relationship. At least from some of the conversations I've had. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
What else? Do you have anything else?
I had
Adam?
one other topic. Yeah, hang on here.
Yeah.
I pulled this up, Adam, and I, of course, forgot it a second ago. So let me switch it up real quick then. For people who only use their feet to people who only use their hands. Basketball. Topps Chrome Basketball comes back next. I think it's
18th.
Oh, it's not the 19th? Isn't the 18th a Tuesday?
I'll double check right now.
No, 18th is a Thursday. I thought it was the 19th.
Comes out on the 18th. Yep.
What day of the week?
Yeah, I think it's the 18th.
Oh, God.
18th is a Thursday.
Dude, what a okay, so I hate that already because Cosmic Baseball, there's a billion things next week. I am curious, like, what do you think is going to be the standout stuff from Topps Chrome Basketball? Like, you see the stuff from Panini, the case hits, people chasing all that. What is going to be the big chase there aside from just the autos?
I think the lower numbered stuff is definitely going to be important. Like, the other thing that's interesting about Topps Chrome Basketball that I don't think we've really seen is, like, are they including the debut patches in there? Like, because that was one of the big things. Like, they had the debut patches created, like, and there was the whole thing with Cooper Flagg. He had three different jerseys, and each jersey had the patch, and that was a controversy. And Topps said they erased they destroyed the other two patches, which, like, that's what they said. So I'm gonna go ahead and believe them there. But like, so with baseball, those cards are going into Topps Chrome Basketball or baseball, but they haven't made any type of announcement if they're going to be going into like where those patches are going to go. So I think the debut patch ends up being, probably one of the bigger cards. I think obviously with baseball it has been, with the Skeens selling for over $1 million to Dick's Sporting Goods, and but I think like the low numbered parallel stuff, the base cards I think are going to be good, and I mean I think I just look at like what Topps, what they've done with like the Three Kings redemption as well. Like those, they're kind of telling you what cards they think are important. So like the Bowman Chrome Superfractor Auto, the Topps Chrome Superfractor Auto, and the debut patch. So I think that, I still am holding a little bit of hope that like Bowman ends up being like a bigger product for basketball. Like I know it's a college product, but like the big difference that I think that people are kind of overlooking, in my opinion, is like that Bowman is coming out when those players are still in college. So you still have people who are, wanted to get Cooper Flagg when he was still on Duke, or, want to get Clayton Jr. when he was still on Florida, or any of those players that are big within the college space. Obviously they have to pan out in the NBA, but like, I think that Bowman, will still has a chance to be one of those big cards. And yeah, the Topps Chrome, the Superfractor Auto, like the base one, I think is going to be good. I mean, I think the one thing that I hope with Topps Chrome Basketball and just, Topps products in general is that they they don't do the thing that Panini did where they had like 4 different one-of-ones all within Prism. Like they had like the Nebula, they had like the regular disco, or they had like the regular base black one-of-one. They had like a finite, they had a disco one-of-one. Like I'm hoping, like that's one of the things, and not to go back to soccer necessarily, but like in 2022 Prism Soccer, like there was 4 different one-of-one base Messi cards that have all sold, and it's just, I think it makes things more confusing. So in my opinion, I just hope that they focus on like one-of-one that's really important, and not try and put a bunch of one-of-ones in there and kind of water down, I think, the cards that are going to be, base cards in that product. And I think I think it's still to be seen what like the RPA product ends up being for Topps. If it's going to be Topps Chrome, maybe that's the case. Or if they, I know they have higher end stuff for baseball, but
Dynasty,
like we haven't really seen any announcements. Yeah, Dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Diamond Icons.
So that we haven't really seen any of those announcements for basketball. So I think it's to be seen what they decide to do from that standpoint, from an RPA standpoint. Because I mean, those ones will always be big, and hopefully that Topps can also start including the patches from at least player worn, like not in National Treasures, where it's like this may be a jersey that someone wore at some point potentially, but like probably not. It's like I hope that's a change that I'm hoping to see within Topps basketball.
Well, and the debut patch thing is interesting to me because Skeen sells for $1 million, but he's unbelievable, like the greatest prospect we've ever seen, the greatest rookie pitcher, just a phenomenal career. Cooper Flag, I mean, had a ton of hype, but the basketball market is so much bigger on the high-end side. I actually think that card would sell for close to $1 million if it got pulled tomorrow, which I think is obscene.
Jeez.
But I think that card would sell through the basketball market is so huge. I do. I think that card would sell for, and maybe it only goes for $250, but I wouldn't be shocked if it pressed that type of money. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, and Cooper Flag's playing pretty well this year. Like, he's second in scoring behind Knipple, who was his teammate at Duke.
Dude, Kahn is amazing. That kid came out of
he's really good.
I knew he would be effective. That kid has been awesome.
Yeah, he's been.
Is
really
he with
good.
Charlotte?
I mean, if it's not based on hype, then he could potentially win Rookie of the Year. I think, like if unless Flag has like a crazy second half of the season here, but So that's I think some of the stuff I'm interested in for Topps basketball there.
Who's the Ryan Kalkbrenner? Are you guys familiar with this person?
Nope.
Neither of you? Okay, hang on.
No.
I gotta look this up because he is listed. So there's a site. It's called #basketball. They basically show NBA rookie rankings based on a number of different statistics. They've got is it Knipple? Is that how you pronounce it?
Kahn.
He is at the top of this list. He's
What teams
ranked
he play
number
for?
1.
Is it Charlotte?
The
Charlotte,
Ryan guy?
yeah.
Or
It is Charlotte. Okay.
Charlotte, yeah.
So that's where Ryan is also this guy, Ryan
Second
Kalkbrenner.
round pick. So that's interesting. And I actually pulled one of the first times ever. I know people say this, but like the hangers are, what did they say, hangers or bangers or something like that? I don't know. I was talking to somebody and they said that to me and I never heard it. But I bought a hanger for Topps Chrome or regular Topps basketball, and I pulled like a numbered to 25 auto of somebody on second rounder, but it wasn't a big, but it was an autograph. I was like, wow, that's kind of the first time I've really pulled something big like that out of a product.
So going back, the reason I'm bringing up this Ryan guy is he's ranked number 2 on this list. Cooper Flag being number 3 as well. VJ is number 4. Derek Queen number 5. It's interesting to me that neither of you guys are familiar with him either.
He's averaging 9 and 6. They have him ranked number 2 on there.
Yeah,
That's weird.
I guess they take into a number of factors, but you're saying, he's 9 and 6 altogether.
He's averaging 9 points and 6 rebounds.
That's all right. Well, then maybe this site has always been really good about updating. Maybe it's not. Okay.
Well, if you look at Basketball Reference has like VORP, which is like it's value over replacement player.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, it's a bunch of random stats that they pulled together. He's number 1 on the Basketball Reference VORP list. So
you know what? That's a
he's
good
like
point
I think he's a second round guy, like early second round guy.
That's a good point to Mike. Your comments earlier about Dak. It doesn't always matter if their stats are good because they could be looking good in one way and in another way they stink. So obviously this guy's stats are showing in one way he looks really good, but you guys haven't even heard of him.
His stats, don't show he looks good. He's averaging 9 points. I didn't say he looked good.
No. I'm saying that the stats can be deceiving is my bottom line. Is the stats don't really necessarily mean anything if you're looking at them from a different point of view. In this case, He has stats that are listed on here showing other traits that he's good at. I guess rebounds, points. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. He's number one on average rebounds per game at like 6.7. So I mean, I guess that's good.
It's like blocks are good. Yeah, I don't know. There's a few other things that are
so here's
good about
real
it.
world application. I would say then
Field goal percentage.
Vegas odds, which are pretty. I mean, these guys are pretty accurate. That's why they are. Cooper Flag is minus 150. Con is plus 155. Ryan is plus 50,000. So like, there's an application where that site is like, oh, he looks great on paper.
Yeah,
fine. In the real world, no. That's why the card community doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like in general, there's usually a link between accolades like this, like Vegas odds and stuff, and that.
Yeah, I mean, I think too with sports cards, like we've seen it over time where it's like, you know, I think Russell Wilson is a great all-time quarterback, but like the hobby doesn't really care about him at all. Like,
correct.
You know, he's a Super Bowl winner. He's a multiple-time Super Bowl appearance.
Yep.
But like, you know, the hobby doesn't really care.
Yeah,
so
borderline
it's like,
Hall of Famer. But what's his legacy with the hobby?
Yeah, but Ryan...
Eli Manning might be another example. I mean, I don't know if that's a good example, but like players who are good that the hobby just doesn't really care about, you know?
Sure.
Ryan, you can get his auto out of Topps flagship for $10. So...
You could put $10 down for him to win the Rookie of the Year, and you could be going home with a pretty penny. So it might be worth it for you there, too.
Anything else you got, Adam?
Because I mean, I'm just
like
I said, the World Cup should be exciting.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, I'm sorry. We got mailbag coming up, so I think that's unless you've got another hot topic, we've kind of
end it there.
It.
2 for 2.
Sure. Yep, that
Killed
works for
it.
me.
Perfect, Adam.
Hey, thanks for the daily
Thank you,
nonsense
buddy.
stuff, too, man. Dude's been putting out clips and video for like the last... It's been, what, 6-8 months now? Since the National?
Yeah, since like the National. I think I started the week before the National, so
yeah.
That's been, you know, it's been fun.
Awesome. Hey, we appreciate it, man. It's been cool seeing the traction.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll have you back, too, and we've got like another couple topics like this. We can kind of have you in and fire off some stats and stuff for us.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds great.
Good deal. Thanks, Adam. Good to see you, bro.
Thanks, guys.
Mailbag.
Mailbag.
Try.
I just laughed.
Oh, okay. Cody James, what has been the most
Ryan
surprising...
Kalkbrenner. Found him.
Are you high on Ryan? You gonna buy some Ryan?
For plus 50K. I might.
Honestly, plus 50K. The fact that he could be number 2.
No one in the world has him number 2.
Here's the thing. Those stats are accurate. The stats that they are put in here are accurate.
Sure.
The weighting, I guess, has got to be.
Of course.
Because, I mean, like.
He's averaging 9 points.
1.9 blocks. And
Great.
Rebounds, 6.7.
Great.
And I think it's like his field goal percentage is like almost like 0.8%. So all of those things tied together with maybe a couple other things here and there has bumped him up high enough. But, yeah, the actual points, mostly other.
The actual real world.
Other stats.
Yeah.
Don't seem to be up there. Mailbag, Cody wanted to know. Let's see here.
Why are you the way you are? That's what Cody wanted to know.
What has been the most surprisingly good product of the year? Something that when announced you didn't have a lot of hope in and turned out to be good. That's an interesting question. I like that question.
I've been very underwhelmed as of late, so not much. I have to think here.
The problem is when there's been a lot of really good products, it's the price point in comparison that makes it seem like it's not as good.
Not a good product.
Like if something came out for free, you would think, oh, that's pretty great, even if it's not that good. So it's all in comparison to what the actual price is.
I feel like Bowman Chrome was good, and the price stayed relatively similar. I'll go with that. Bowman Chrome has been horrible the last 2-3 years. This year, the class actually held up. Even months later, it's selling well, and the price of the box didn't jump.
Oh, yeah.
And it surprised me because Bowman Chrome is in dog crap. Like National Treasure's been good, but it's good every year. It's been a little bit better this year than I think most years, but it's always been pretty good. So I'll go Bowman Chrome.
Okay. Yeah, mine would have to be obviously a non-sport product, but I think if we're talking non-sport, there's 2 different worlds where like the GPK 40th anniversary product that came out earlier this year did the best as far as like turn from how much you could buy it for to what its value was in the next 3, 4, 5 months. It almost quadrupled in price. That was pretty cool to see. But at the end of the day, GPK is not like my biggest thing. Like I think some of those cards are cool. They're funny. I really do appreciate the Mint product, the Disney Mint product. I was not all that high on it. It's for bang for the buck. you're not going to make a ton of money if you just like bought a box retail and tried to flip it. You're essentially, I don't know, you may lose a little bit of money, but ultimately I think the cards are really cool. So that would be my biggest one, is just because I like how they did it. Now I think all of that's going to change when Galaxy, which comes out this week, is released. I think the cards that I have seen so far, because the Star Wars Galaxy product is one where they do like all these custom art pieces. It's like scenes that never actually happen, that they're taking artist renditions of Anakin and whoever.
Which
they're putting
which
on
one
a
is
card.
this from? Are they all the? I don't know how that works.
So Star Wars Galaxy, this one technically has like an homage to the Revenge of the Sith, the episode 3.
Okay.
So because it is like, I think it's the 20th anniversary, I want to say, of the movie. This is kind of like giving
that makes
some
sense. Yeah, we were just out of high school.
Popularity to that.
I remember that. I went to the midnight showing of that movie.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Oh, you were still in high school. You were senior in high school because that was the year I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We went to and there was almost a fight in the line. It was great. People were battling out with lightsabers.
Sam reminded me, and I'm pretty sure it was the episode 3. She was on a date, and I followed her to the theater and sat a few rows back with my brother. I said, my brother reminded me that this happened because I apparently had no memory of it.
God.
He's like, the only time you ever invited me to a movie was when Sam was on a date with another guy.
And then, Jesse, it was weird. When the guy put his arm around Sam, you put your arm around me. You started whispering in my ear, Jesse. It was very awkward.
So I've got a lot of fond memories when it comes to episode 3.
So does she.
But all that being said, it really, the cards have nothing, I mean.
Anything to do with your family?
There's not as much. My brother's not in any of them. No, episode, or the cards themselves are, there are going to be cards that have things to do with episode 3.
Gotcha.
But for the most part, it's just, Leia in like just a really cool outfit fighting with a lightsaber that never actually happened in the movies. So it's just really cool art in different scenarios that they place these characters in those cards. This product is all about like the artist and the design of the card. It is almost like other than like there are some autos, but there's not even, I don't know if there's a guaranteed auto per case or not. I think there might be one per case. The biggest chase is just like how cool the cards look. And so that's what's kind of fun about it too. It's like, you don't know what's going to be popular until people start seeing all the art that comes out. That being said, if you got a really nice auto, people would love that. So anyways, that is probably going to be my new one because Galaxy is my favorite Star Wars product, and it comes out on Wednesday, which I will be breaking all day Wednesday on Fanatics Live.
That's another stupid move. Why is that coming out the same, and vice versa? Why are Topps Chrome Update and that the same day?
I don't know.
That is like, I don't care if you move baseball, by the way. I'm not saying, move Star Wars. Move one of them. Why would you? Like, that's one of the biggest baseball releases at the end of the year, and we finally get a baseball release with a loaded rookie class.
Yeah.
Why is it the same day as a big Star Wars product and vice versa?
Well, because especially when like the last few weeks we haven't really had
Nothing.
a non-sport release or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't get it at all.
It does make me think though they must do it on purpose. Because like a lot of these things we keep asking, like, why do they keep doing it?
No, you're right. Because like, so here's what stinks. Eddie's going to be live all day with Update.
Oh, is he really?
We have a ton of the same customers.
Yeah.
Why make them choose, hey, I'm going to be with this guy?
Yeah, I'd rather choose that than that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't like it at all, Jesse.
Jeremy Byers.
Jesse Rhodes Gibson, I don't like it at all.
What are we doing? MLB Hall of Fame, Jeff Kent?
Yeah, what a joke. Jeff Kent is a fine player, had a great season, MVP. Ooh, I wonder when that was. Early 2000s, I guess. Jeff Kent is not a great baseball player. Don Mattingly should be in before him. Dale Murphy should get in before him. He didn't. Carlos Delgado was the second on the list with votes, and he didn't get in, even though he probably should. I mean, he's got like almost 500 home runs. I would put him before any of the other guys. And then all the steroid guys got less than 5, so they're now off the ballot for a couple of years. So, stupid.
Hang on. There's a question that goes into that exact same PED usage.
MLB Hall of Fame stinks anyways.
It is annoying. Like, it does seem like there should be a change up. Ruben Ty Rodriguez says, is it bad for baseball that the PED players are not in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
And if the situation changed, which PED guys would you see a bump in pricing, and which players would have the accolade baked into their pricing?
Yeah, here's the biggest sham about it. Bud Selig, who turned a blind eye to this whole thing, was a commissioner. He's in the Hall of Fame. How do you let that moron in the Hall of Fame, but the players who put you on the map do not get in because they cheated? And by the way, it wasn't cheating when some of them did it. When McGuire was popping Andro and shooting Andro, it wasn't even an illegal banned substance at the time.
Oh,
McGuire should be in the Hall of Fame. Sammy Sosa should be in the Hall of Fame. Clemens, 1,000% should be in. Bonds is the greatest baseball player ever. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Those are the 4 unbelievably obvious ones. I'm sure I'm overlooking 10 others. Manny Ramirez. And I will also draw the distinction. If you got popped, if you actually tested positive and got suspended, fine, let's make them wait. Manny got popped twice. Maybe he should wait a couple years, but he was an all-time great.
Yeah.
A-Rod got popped for 100 games. Make him wait. But it's like a top 5 player in the history of the game.
Yeah.
They should be in. But if Bonds ever got in, Clemens, the guys who we've had to wait around for, I think there'd be a huge bump. Especially Bonds and Clemens. Those are really the 2 that come to mind. Because those are 2 of arguably the greatest at their position ever.
Yeah. I'd asked Mark Feinsand, I texted him, and I was like, what are the odds? Because I kept seeing, like, Instagram posts of, like, this is going to finally be the year for Bonds.
Yeah, because it was a contemporary committee. We thought maybe.
Yeah. But
less than 5.
He's like, no chance in the world.
Yep. And I could be wrong. I think because they got less than 5, they're not eligible. I think they have to wait out a couple. I think, but I could be wrong about that.
I remember that something.
But if Bonds ever got in, it would be massive. Because then it'd be like the accolade, and now it's like, okay, maybe he really is the greatest, and people would bring some attention to that. But
Jonah Christopher, when will Mike and Jesse save the hobby and buy out BGS and return them to the glory days?
$100,000 right now. Final offer.
That's an interesting question.
That's
Are
all
they for
in.
sale? I mean, I don't know if they actually went. I keep seeing that. I saw something about them not accepting new submissions. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It may be because they're busy, or
it's not because I can tell you it's not because they're busy. That company's a train wreck.
Gary Waddle, I'll beat a dead horse, but is there any small grading companies, not a big 5 company, y'all respect even if you don't use them?
No.
That we respect?
I mean, I don't respect anyone enough to use them, so it means I don't respect them enough. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't have bad things to say. If I don't use you, there's a reason.
I respect other companies. The fact is, though, I buy and grade because of the wallet. Like
as do most.
Like, I don't want my card to be less valuable.
I respect CGC. Like they're the authority in comics. They're the authority in Pokemon and like TCG.
I don't know about that. They had a few bad grading issues earlier this year. In fact.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Even Ray was saying, like, you put your card in a CGC holder, you're basically just going to sell it for base price.
I take it back then.
So,
I still respect SGC, by the way.
But yeah.
I still have a ton of sets and stuff in SGC holders. I'm not rushing to get those out. I still respect that brand, but I'm also not using them right now because of the current circumstance. That's what I mean. If I don't use you, there's a reason. Like,
I think the companies that do things like where it's like you can change the colors and things like that, like on the labels, I think that's kind of fun. But honestly, I don't even know which ones by name.
Give me a crayon. I'll change the color of your label. Let Charlie color on it for 3 minutes.
Bam Nuju, why is it that sports cards and TCGs use different methods of pricing? Sports cards usually go off of the last sold comp, while TCGs go off lowest available, usually lowest available on TCG Player. I do know what they're saying exactly, but I would argue that people who are selling sports cards
do the same kind anyways.
If they're not doing it, they should be, because most people will go to like a card ladder or something, and they'll see, last sale, and they'll base it from there. But if you are really, smart, you're going to go and see what is it listed at. Are there any buy it nows, like on eBay or something, for a lower price? If it's just sitting there, I mean, I would either offer that or lower than whatever the buy it now is.
I think most do. Like, I think the exceptions are like cards itself. Like, we talk about the Prism base all the time because it's a nice gauge. But, like, I don't have to go check what's available. There's been 89 sales in the last 11 days.
Yeah.
Like, the comps there. But, like, the Burrow NTRPA, okay, the last one sold for $13,000. Okay, he was injured, and there's not one available for less than 19.
Yeah, for sure.
I want 15.
Something rare.
So I think there's kind of a hybrid in the hobby of that.
I think the bigger question is probably, why is it that TCG is not going off of the last sold comp?
Because they believe in lizards.
I do think
flying lizards.
I think there should be more of that. And my thinking is too, if you're trying to sell or buy anything, you go off of whatever comps you want to go off of. It just depends on if they're going to go with you. I don't think you're wrong, though, for trying to go off of a last sold. So,
fair.
David Berman trying this one again. Oh, he did put this in recently, and I like the question. We just didn't have time to get to it. Do you think Topps will release basketball and football versions of Allen and Ginter? If not, would you like to see it become a true multi-sport and non-sport product that pulls together all of Topps licenses under a single checklist? Personally, I would be okay with 3 different SKUs, but feels unlikely.
I don't want 3, but if they're going to do it, just do 1.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that, actually, 1.
I would prefer that, honestly. I would like if Allen and Ginter turned into like just a multi-sport.
2025 Allen and Ginter has Cooper Flag, it has Cam Ward, it has Kurtz for, or whatever. Kurtz for baseball. It has everything.
Can we have a QB that's good?
Cam Ward played looked good the other day. Excellent. Shador Sanders.
Ruben is back in the DMs. Or did I? Oh, no, I already asked it. Sorry. We're jumping around here. Cole Benz, has the Ohtani market grown to the point that it's immune to the off-season dip? It was Cole's question.
We talked about, yeah. I mean, more so than anybody we've seen. Like, we showed you the numbers. His stuff is down a tiny bit, but his high end is up, like Jesse referenced. The low end is down very minimally. It's as immune as anybody I can recall.
Yeah. Stephen Fink, now that you guys are accepting outside sponsors, when do you think we'll get one the community needs? Deodorant, soap, or toothpaste?
Dude, what about Dude Wipes? That's the one we reached out to because I think that'd be a great fit.
Dude Wipes.
We're willing.
Here's the thing.
A huge audience across platforms, folks. Quit screwing around.
I've never carried with me Dude Wipes, but I keep seeing more and more people carry. Do you ever carry them with you?
No.
Oh, okay. Like people are just like, hey, you want a Dude Wipe? I'm like, why? Do you just have them?
Maybe they're trying to hint at something there. Maybe you should take them.
You have a piece of poop on your arm. You might want a Dude Wipe.
You're a filthy human.
Trent.
God, I got to sit in a room with this twice a week.
Trent Weldy, do both of you ever see an exit from the hobby? That's a good question. Like a full-on exit from the hobby, it would have to be a large sum of money. I don't know.
Exit. Like I'd stop breaking for the right price or stop doing paid content for the right price. I'm still going to collect and go to shows.
That's what I mean. Like from a business standpoint, it would have to be like some kind of large.
I'll give you a number right now, Trent.
Other than that, I don't see. Yeah, it seems like at this point I've been turned into a more of a collector than I ever was in.
I was wondering about that with you though, because I was collecting for 20 years before I was doing anything business wise. I was wondering if the whole business end dried up, would you still be going to shows and stuff?
I would go to local shows. I don't know if I'd go to the national necessarily. Okay. I don't know if I would travel for shows. Now,
you think you'd still do it locally though, still
be
in?
Yeah. I think I would, especially to try and find sketch cards because I feel like no matter what, it feels. And that's one of the reasons why I like the Galaxy products so much. It feels like I'm collecting pieces of art that I can show off to people that's what I like about cards is whether or not someone knows who the person or character is, they can still appreciate a cool looking card. That's what I really like about them. And that's why I like the sketch cards and the Galaxy products and things like that.
I would happily welcome an exit from the business side if it made sense for us on the team. But yeah, I've been going to shows since I was 10. That's never going to... And in my case, I would go to the National every year and go crazy now. If I had to go there and not have to work at all, oh, God. Just go there and buy like a maniac and sell and go crazy.
There is part of me that would... Actually, you say that. There is still a lot of fun going to those shows. And I just don't know...
Especially with no obligation.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But you've never been on the side. That's why I was curious. Would you ever...
That's the thing. I would probably go to give it a try. Yeah. It's I would want to know what that's like from that standpoint.
You look around, you're like, that's the second guy who's offering me Dude Wipes, and I'm not getting I'm not being paid to be here. I'm out.
Forget it. Let's see. Don Getters wants to know, there's very likely a work stoppage coming to baseball in 2027.
I keep hearing this, yeah.
That would be lengthy. How would you take that into account in terms of who you'd be buying and selling, especially when it comes to Bowman?
I'd be crazy cautious. I wouldn't. I mean, I would also look for guys who is going to play elsewhere. Does that affect all the minor leagues? Does it affect the Dominican, or the DSL? What is that? The Dominican Summer League? For Bowman specifically, are those prospects going to be able to play elsewhere instead?
Yeah.
Okay, then there's highlights we'll see. So I would be interested in that first. But current players and rookies who are only going to play in the MLB, which if there's no games, they're not playing.
Yeah.
I'd be crazy cautious there. So I'd go to guys who could play elsewhere because they're young and not under contract, or the retired all-time great vet types.
The question I have is, does that mean next year's products garner a little extra value if this continues to be a fear?
And I don't think it'd be next year. It's we'd go back to the class of 24, I think, would spike. Hey, we've seen these guys for 2 years be great. Let's just go back and chase the rookies we like.
Oh,
unless next year turned into that class, which it could.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, this guy was great last year. Let's chase him. And there's nothing the second year. Maybe. I also am curious because now the deal with Fanatics is also with the PA. How does that affect that? Do they just not print product while there's no games being played? I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
We get enough feedback, by the way, from Fanatics. I would love to have an answer on that one. We're at that, like, what happens if there is a lockout of the 2027 season? Can you produce cards?
Because have you been? Well, I'm trying to think. When was the last baseball strike or whatever they call it?
It's not been recent.
I feel like there was one not that crazy long ago.
But there was also it was never a missed season.
Oh yeah, where
like we had COVID where we had only 60 games. That wasn't a lockout, obviously. But before that, I don't remember us missing. When's the last time we missed games?
Google
2012.
Well, I mean, the last significant MLB strike, according to Google, says 94 to 95.
That's a Blue Jays year, I think, right?
Yeah, let's see here. The final part of the 94 season, all postseason games and the World Series were canceled.
Yeah, okay.
Wow. That was the first time it was not held since 1904. There was a 2021-22 lockout.
Did they miss games?
So it says it was stalemate over a new collective bargaining agreement. Impact delayed the start of the 22 season, but a deal was reached to salvage a full schedule.
Okay.
So yeah,
they haven't missed
so
games.
They really
in a
didn't
long
miss
time.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't remember. I knew there was one that had happened fairly recent, but I didn't think it missed anything.
So that would be interesting to see what happens to the card market at that time, because it does make me think, like, even if the next year's class isn't as good, if people are holding on to that into the following year, it's like, well,
yeah,
at least
all
we
bets
got
are
something.
off, dude.
Yeah,
Who knows
exactly.
at that point? And if there's no new product, then it's like, oh well, we still got product. Yeah, I have no clue. I don't know. I would love to know from Fanatics what the plan is if there's no season, though. What, like, contractually can they do?
Yeah. Well, that is your mailbag.
And your show. We're done.
Back on Thursday,
Harry's Razors. Harry's.com /nonsense.
We didn't do the read.
I just did it. That's enough.
Rebecca, if we need to do a read, say something.
I think we're waiting to hear the numbers. So
okay. All right. Well, back on Thursday, are you doing any breaks or anything this week?
Topps Chrome update is one. I don't know if I'm doing it. Eddie's gonna be live all day.
Oh, okay. Eddie's breaking all day. Fanatics live.
Actually, I am. I'm gonna try. I never have success with breaks. I'm gonna try some of that Wednesday night on release day on eBay Live.
Oh, okay.
Of Topps Chrome update the new stuff.
The new stuff. Okay.
Yep, we'll see.
Like you're listed as a break?
I'm gonna post personal boxes. We see if we get anybody. If we get people in the room, I may try like a live fill. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see.
Well, very cool. I'm hoping. I did the training. I have not heard when I'll do the eBay Live training. They did like all the eBay stuff. So
yeah.
I'm trying to get that done. If eBay Live, if you're listening, would love to get that done sooner rather than later. I've got a number of higher end non-sport cards that I would like to do an auction, because if that goes well, then I do have like $30,000 to $40,000 waiting to be auctioned in non-sport cards after that. So
really good.
Highest non-sport live eBay Live show. That's the next goal.
I wonder what that is. That might be weird. There's some big Pokemon dudes over there.
TCG and non-sport are two different.
Oh, is that different? Okay. I forget you nerds are not the same.
We have different nerd
cousin kissing weirdos.
On that note, see you guys on Thursday.
Goodbye.